Let's talk about the witness interviews, 302s of witness interviews. Those are not subject to the court order. Those are not subject to any fictional sealed order for a search warrant. Why aren't you releasing those with the redacted names of the victims?
We are releasing as much as legally allowed. That's why we went back to
how
the
is
courts.
that? How is that not legally allowed?
Sir, do you know how court orders work? Do you know how protective orders
Actually,
work? Do you know how
Mr.
sealing
Patel,
orders
I was
work?
a real prosecutor for 10 years. I know exactly how.
So I was a
court
fake
orders.
one?
And I want to understand what the court order prevents you from releasing witness statements that the FBI took.
Congressman Dan Goldman, a former federal prosecutor, went head-to-head with FBI Director Kash Patel in a tense showdown over the Jeffrey Epstein files. During the heated hearing, Goldman aggressively challenged Patel's explanation for why key witness documents and investigative materials have still not been released to the public. When Patel argued that court restrictions were preventing disclosure, Goldman pushed back hard, claiming the FBI interview summaries known as 302...
Yields back. The gentleman from New York is recognized. Mr. Goldman.
Mr. Patel, does Donald Trump appear anywhere in the Epstein files?
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
It's not a complicated question. Does Donald Trump appear anywhere in the Epstein files?
I didn't say it was a complicated question. I just didn't hear you, so my apologies. We have released where President Trump's name's in the Epstein files and everybody else, and all credible information that we are legally allowed to release has been released.
All right, so let's go through that. You're referring to court orders that prohibit you from releasing grand jury testimony under Rule 6E. Is that what you're referring to when you say as the law allows?
That's a piece of it.
Really? What other evidence do those three court orders you cited prohibit from being released?
Information that was collected pursuant to those search warrants that were limited in fashion.
Wrong. That's
Okay.
not what the court order says, and that's not under 6E.
And you're talking, and I said that's 6E, and I said there was others, and I'm answering that there are sealed court order documents. There are protective orders.
They are unsealed as part of discovery given to Ghislaine Maxwell. They are no longer sealed.
That's just not true. We can argue about it all you want.
Okay, well, you agree that there are, so your testimony here is that the reason why you are not releasing all of the videos that you have acknowledged, there are so many, and that the FBI spent thousands of hours of reviewing, the photographs, the photographs that you have. You're saying that you're not releasing those because there's a court order requiring them to be sealed? Is that your testimony?
Never said that about the videos. On the totality of the videos, of the thousands of images that were seized pursuant to the search warrants executed at the time, the overwhelming majority of that video is pornographic material that was downloaded from the internet and child abuse material. We will never release that.
Well, as you should not release the victims, but if there are videos that relate to others who Epstein trafficked to, such as maybe Prince Andrew, or photographs, that you have total control to release.
Yes, and if it exists...
And so why haven't you released it?
Why are you supposing that that is a fact when in fact it is false? Are you saying that...
You're saying that none of the videos relate to anything relevant to the Jeffrey Epstein trafficking ring?
Every single video that we have collected pursuant to the prior search warrants has been examined for the last 10 years. And every single video has been utilized for whatever prosecutions were able to be legally brought.
I'm not asking about prosecutions. I'm asking about why you aren't releasing the full Epstein files, including the names of people who were involved in the ring that you promised to do before you became FBI director.
I just told you, I'm not going to release downloaded porn of
I'm not
children
asking
on the
about
internet.
that. Fine. I'm asking about all the other files.
What other videos? Tell me. Tell me.
That's what I'm asking.
Tell me.
You're saying there are no videos that would be relevant to anyone else involved in the Jeffrey Epstein.
Pursuant to Mr. Acosta's collection of information based on the search warrants. That's all we have in our possession.
And I'm asking you, that stuff.
That's all we got.
I'm not asking all you got. I'm asking you, in that stuff, there's nothing that's related to any other people engaged with Epstein in underage.
Correct. To my knowledge, no.
Okay. Let's talk about the witness interviews. 302s of witness interviews. Those are not subject to the court order. those are not subject to any fictional sealed order for a search warrant. Why aren't you releasing those with the redacted names of the victims?
We are releasing as much as legally allowed. That's why we went back to
How
the
is that?
courts.
How is that not legally allowed?
Sir, do you know how court orders work? Do you know how protective orders work?
Actually,
Do you know how
Mr.
sealing
Patel,
orders
I was a
work?
prosecutor, a real prosecutor for 10 years. I know exactly how.
So I was a
court
fake one?
orders. And I want to understand what the court order prevents you from releasing witness statements that the FBI took.
You should know that as a real prosecutor, when the court hand downs a protective order and a motion to seal, the material is sealed unless
So
that
your
judge
testimony
waives
here
it.
is that all of those witness statements are under a court order, a protective order.
We are providing everything we can legally provide.
No, that's not my
Congress has
question.
sent us a
My
subpoena.
question is, why are those witness statements that are not grand jury testimony, that if they were under a protective order are no longer under a protective order, why are they not being released?
How are they not
And
under a protective
Why
order?
are you not going to the court like you did for the grand jury testimony to unseal those
The
records?
DOJ did go to the court.
No, not on those records. Why aren't you going? You just went on grand jury.
Time of the gentleman has expired.
You are hiding the Epstein files,
Time
Mr.
of the gentleman
Patel.
has expired.
You are part of the cover-up.
Can I respond?
Sure can.
Any allegations that I'm a part of a cover-up to protect child sex trafficking and victims of human trafficking and crimes is patently and categorically false in the work of my
So I hope you will talk to them when they
Gentlemen's
have
time has expired.
requested to speak with you. Because the
Gentlemen's time has
victims have
expired. Gentleman
requested
yields
and you are
back.
not responding to them.
Just how bad is Kash Patel's leadership at the FBI? It is so bad that with his latest chaotic firings, the FBI Agents Association, which represents 14,000 agents, including more than 90% of all active FBI agents, has issued a blistering public rebuke, calling Kash Patel's actions, quote, erratic and arbitrary retribution. As a part of the ongoing purge at the FBI, several agents who worked on investigations related to Donald Trump's attempt to overturn the 2020 election results were fired by Kash Patel earlier this week, then reinstated after pushback from none other than acting D.C. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro, only to be fired again by Kash Patel the next morning. After that nonsensical and arbitrary whiplash, an FBI Agents Association spokesperson telling Axios that the firings, quote, highlight the chaos that occurs when long-standing policies and processes are ignored. An agent simply being assigned to an investigation and conducting it appropriately within the law should never be grounds for termination. Quote, FBI agents deal in facts, and we urge Director Patel to do the same. When leadership abandons due process, it doesn't just erode trust. It makes the American public less safe. FBI agents must be free to focus on protecting the American people, not fear losing their jobs over third-party social media posts.
This statement is actually quite extraordinary, and it's for reasons that may not at first be obvious to the general public. FBI agents, for a variety of reasons and a variety of statutes, do not have access to a lot of the mechanisms other federal employees have to protect their rights and their livelihood. FBI agents cannot unionize. Most of them do not have access to the Merit Systems Protection Board. There are different whistleblower procedures for FBI employees than there are for general government employees. As a result, the only means that FBI agents have to protect their own interests is through the FBI Agents Association. Now, because of that, the FBI Agents Association recognizes and always has that it is only as valuable as it is able to influence and regularly meet with the director or the deputy director of the organization. So they have always bent over backwards to never directly criticize the director or directly antagonize him.
I'm not the defund everything guy. I'm just saying Chris Wray doesn't need a government-funded G5 jet to go to vacation. Maybe we ground that plane. $15,000 every time it takes off. Just a thought.
The guy's running around on private jets, and somebody maybe in Congress should ask for how many flights on a private jet Director Comey took, or my predecessor Director Wray took, and how many personal trips